Are Scottish Gaelic and Irish the same language? No, they are not. Despite the fact this person could have looked this up in 10 seconds to check that, oh, actually they were wrong, before they wrote the comment, I'm going to explain the differences anyway. There are actually 3 languages to talk about. So, ha Gaelic acum, I have Scottish Gaelic. And clues in the name, it is the language that's spoken across Scotland. At one stage, it was the dominant language of the entire country. It was the language of the Scottish courts before English was. You will find Gaelic origins in place names, landscape, people's names, and Fuganach. It's also spoken in parts of Canada, like Nova Scotia. Gaeilge, or Irish, Marchanas to Severla, is funnily enough spoken largely in Ireland. Some people will call it Gaelic, but most people using that word will be talking about the sport. If you want to tell the difference between Gaeilge or Gaelic, looking at them side by side, there's one very obvious difference. The fatas, the graves, are pointing the opposite way. The third language is Gaelic or Manx Gaelic. It's spoken on the Isle of Man. It went extinct, I believe, in the 1980s, but has since been revived. It now has a few thousand speakers, which is great news. Now, these 3 share a common ancestor, which is Middle Irish, and about 1,000 years ago, they all evolved into their own distinct languages. The 3 of them are part of the Celtic language tree, alongside Welsh, Breton, and Cornish, so we have 6 separate languages. Now, having spent some time this year at Gaeilge music festivals in the Donegal Gaeltacht, I can tell you as a Gaelic speaker, there is about as much mutual intelligibility between the 2 languages as there is complete opposites. Here are some children with basic words to demonstrate.
Motra, Ku, Bow, Leroy, Camin, Come on, Bow, Kosha, Pill, Imai, Imon.
When it comes to reading, U person to Koyu, I find that easier. I can look at this and I have no idea what the first part says, but the second part, I can hazard a guess. Put labels on your food, please. To summarise, mutual understanding between Scottish Gaelic and Irish, for example, is possible, but far from guaranteed, depending on accent and dialect. And that's because they are similar, but separate languages. Actually, if you look across the world, you'll find higher degrees of mutual intelligibility between languages like Italian and Catalan.
Porta, finestra, festa.
Tongan and Samoan. Afrikaans and Dutch, a bunch of Scandinavian languages, the list goes on and on. Just because 2 languages share words or have a common ancestor does not mean they're the same. Spanish and English, for example, have hundreds of shared words, but yet they're completely different languages. Just because I can follow a line of dialogue in Narcos that says they have a problema con el doctor en el hospital does not mean I can speak Spanish. And similarly, just because I can get the gist of a kneecap song does not mean I can speak Irish, because it's a separate language.